What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. Get geeked up. Yeah, you know, within reason. I mean, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Drive. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Sag. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why I'm so pumped, Sag, because it is Celestial News Monthly. I mean, come on. How could you not get pumped? I mean, I've been telling everybody that. I think it's probably just me. But it's fine, because with this monthly spread, Sag, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, it's like a new thing I'm trying. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Sag. Now I have Zodiac Oracle cards with each of the signs that the planets and the sun are in, and we've got a little lunar shenanigans popping up in this go-round. Now, and I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them. It's a newer one. I've been enjoying it so far. And then I'll be pulling some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so applying these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, love it. I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check it out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching their Sagittarius, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd enjoy them. But before we get to this almost auspicious energy that just popped up here, Sag, let's talk about Scorpio season and this big old party that they're throwing. Because you got the sun that's going to be entering Scorpio, you have Mercury that's going to be entering, and then you have their ruler, well, one of their rulers, Mars, is going to be just still chilling there just a little while longer. Now with the sun, the sun's going to be entering Scorpio on the 23rd of October at about 12:21 in the afternoon, and that'll be Eastern time. And then we'll be there through the 22nd of November. And with this energy, Sagittarius is a heightened sense of introspection. You know, it's a really great energy for just going within, doing some meditation, some reflection, and finding the areas where you want to grow and evolve and bring those things to light so that you can expand from that there, Sagittarius. It's a very, very deep energy that Scorpio brings. But you may also notice, too, that you might notice some, like, emotions may feel a little more intense because they're the fixed water sign and they're considered the most intense sign of the zodiac. And so we just want to be mindful of any sort of getting like really kind of fixated on any sort of one emotion and allowing that to just kind of drag you down to the depths there, Sagittarius. But the nice thing, really nice about this energy is that there's a greater ability to bounce back from challenges. So this is about, you know, being able to face adversity head on there. Because Scorpio being both ruled by Mars and by Pluto, they're a very powerful sign, very resilient, and one that's great for perseverance. And it's a great energy for which is... but also, before I even talking about that, you know, one more thing with this, you know, this... you may be drawn to things that are more kind of taboo, you know, or to the more mysterious. So, you know, maybe you're trying to maybe think about getting into some tarot. Maybe we're doing some osteomancy, maybe some scrying, you know, however that's looking. You know, make sure you do your research. But, you know, you might find yourself drawn to the more kind of occult side of life, you know, that's something to play around with there, Sag. But then also, Mercury is going to be entering on a day before the sun, on the 22nd of October, and be there through the 10th of November. And with this energy, there's a this is a time of just like depth and of intimacy, you know. I feel like with Mercury being in Scorpio, this is a more kind of reserved place for Mercury. Mercury's going to be more kind of on like the observing end of things and just kind of really feeling the energies out. It's very very I think intimacy is a very good word for Mercury in Scorpio. But also this is a very effective energy for discussing relationships, finances, considering that Scorpio deals with like joint finances, shared assets, loans, wills, things along those lines, and mortality. So just, you know, nothing's off the table when it comes to Scorpio energy. And then the last one is their ruler Mars is going to be there through just a little after your birthday season. It's going to be there till the 24th of November. And with this really adds on an extra layer of resilience, you know, because Mars is at home, you know, alongside with Aries, and Mars rules over Scorpio, and it really operates very strongly there. So you may be feeling more driven, maybe even a little more just very more passionate energy. You may even feel a little more magnetic there, Sagittarius. So just something to pay attention to as well. Now let's get into your first card here, because how appropriate that you would get this for their season, because you got the change card. And that's probably one of the biggest things that Scorpio is about. They embrace that energy of transformation, you know, things that no longer serve them a purpose. They use that as a catalyst for growth and for to come into the highest vibrations. And I feel like for you, this like, and not to say that change is easy, but I feel like for the mutable signs, you know, you, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces, you know, change does come a little bit easier for you. So I do feel like that this is a great energy for you to take that mutability of fire and use that as a catalyst to focus on, you know, find any areas that you want to grow and you want to change and evolve from, and then facing those things head on and being adaptable during this energy. Because, you know, Scorpio energy, it can be, you know, however this change looks, it can be really intense. I mean, they're associated with the death card, you know, when their other ruler, Pluto is associated with like the Judgment card, which is another energy of rebirth and change. And there are a lot of changes that I feel like that are getting ready to come into play here, Sagittarius, throughout the next year and just kind of going forward. You know, that it's not stopping. We're just constantly needing to evolve. So be asking yourself these questions: in what ways do you want to change, and what ways do you want to how you're going to evolve in all of this. But let's get some tarot and get some details. And it's funny when I'm looking at this chameleon, I'm just like kind of, what popped in my head was just like, you know, just kind of being able to get some eyes on some things. And because, you know, their eyes are all over the place. So this might be, yeah, this. Ooh. Let's see what's going on here, Sag. Oh! Oh, what's going down? Coming through in a strong way, Sagittarius. So you have the, ooh, this is dope. So you have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and then you, the Temperance card. And I like that, Sagittarius, you coming through like that. And I feel like that this is a great energy for you to, so like we were saying, get eyes on some things. Because, you know, if there's something here, because right before you is the Death card. And if there's some things that have got you thrown out of balance, that you find that is maybe holding you back, preventing you from going on into growth and for new opportunities and things, we want to pay attention to that, because the Six of Swords is moving on to newer waters, you know, and then embracing the change and then going on to, you know, just like new horizons. And the fact that you have like the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands here, I feel like that these energies are, it's like it's almost like paying attention to your feelings and using that as a fuel, you know, with the Ace of Cups. It's like that's an interesting mix of like, and that's fascinating too, because usually in the, I'm thinking of one in particular, there's in the, oh goodness, it's the Astro Matrix tarot deck, where the Temperance card is mixing together fire and water, and Scorpio is on the chalice of that one. And I feel like that it's a sense almost like making this alchemy for this new kind of abundant lifestyle, or this new opportunity, or I might need to get a little bit more on the Empress here, but yeah, something here about it's like you. This is a great opportunity for you to, I don't know, just kind of really kind of follow your heart and use that energy in a way that can take you, that can propel you to this next chapter of your journey here. But let me get a little bit more with the Empress and see what that's about. All right, Sag. So the Empress is clarified by the Seven of Swords and then the Four of Wands here. And I feel like that with this Four of Wands, I'm getting an energy of just like we're at this, you're at this checkpoint right now with the Four of Wands, you know, and it's this energy of, it's like really kind of ask yourself like what is next, you know, how is this, because that's interesting, you know, like it's like what your next move is going to be, because I'm even feeling with like the Six and Seven of Swords, these can even for me be kind of like cards of travel, whether this be by land, Seven of Swords, or maybe even by water, the Six of Swords. But the Seven of Swords, where it can be a card of lying and deception, but that's not quite what's coming through here. It's more so this energy of kind of trying things from a different like from a different angle. You know, it's like maybe we've been told we can only go about this change maybe one type of way, or you know, there's only one way to kind of operate or go about something, but that's kind of feels like where the dishonesty may be, and this may be something we're telling ourselves. It might be like, for example, like the Four of Wands can be like a card of marriage, and it's like maybe we're at this place where it's like we feel that the only way for us to get to like happiness is to settle down and to, you know, get married, have a baby, do all those types of things, which there's nothing wrong with that, Sagittarius. But if that's not true to who you are, and that doesn't resonate with you, then it's just like, how do we, you know, where do you want to go, you know, what do you actually love, what brings you passion, what brings you drive, and then really going with that with full force there, with gusto. You know, the Four of Wands, this is Venus, the Empress, in Aries, and I feel like it's really like letting your heart kind of fuel you and kind of get you passionate. But there's even a little bit coming through here with the Temperance card as far as like moderation. And so if you've noticed something there, Sagittarius, that has been, just if we've been kind of going overboard with something in any case, like I'm getting the very slight devil vibes here, but nothing that I feel like is worthy of, like, you know, just again, just kind of keep eyes on things that might be kind of getting in the way of your growth there. All right, I dig that. Strong start there. It's coming out with you. That's dope. Keep your aces over here, you ace. Now let's get some tea, and then let's talk about Taurus. Ooh, that's hot. So with Taurus, we have a few things going on here. We got your ruler, Jupiter and Uranus, at our retrograde still. And then we're having a little special lunar event. We have the full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in Taurus. But let's talk about your ruler first. Because Jupiter is going to be retrograde until pretty much the end of the year, the 30th of December. And with this energy, Sagittarius, you know, Taurus can deal with like finances and you know, material things. So this is a great energy for kind of reevaluating your approach to wealth, investments, and material comfort. You know, maybe we're seeking like an advisor or someone to, you know, an expert in this field to kind of help you with these things. But you know, on a grander scale, you know, Taurus is about, just on a basic more kind of levels, about security. So it's just like, it's kind of any aspect of your life. If you're not feeling that the foundation is stable, it's like, what do we need to change with this energy here? You know, what is it that have we been going overboard with our spending possibly, or maybe we've been maybe even like our self-esteem has been down in some type of way, or however this might be looking. That's what Jupiter in Taurus is, being retrograde in Taurus. Retrogrades are about reflection. So before Big Papa starts going direct, this is get you a chance to kind of slow down a little bit and just kind of, again, just kind of pause and reevaluate where you want to take, what areas you want to change and feel more kind of solid. And it's very kind of Ten of Pentacles type of vibes. And then you got Uranus. That'll be in Taurus until the 27th of January 2024, next year. And Uranus has been in Taurus for a while. Uranus has been there since, like, I want to say about 2018. It's got a couple more years to go. But Uranus, is looking towards the future, looking towards change. And, to have that, a planet of like really kind of radical change like that in Taurus is a little uncomfortable for Taurus. And it's been a bit of, there's been a bit of discomfort, that's been going on here. But, you've already noticed that Sagittarius, there's been changes, there's going to be changes that happen in currency, in investments, and even in our economic structures. But Taurus too can also deal with the environment, and there may be can bring about a heightened awareness for environmental issues. Maybe think about doing more, kind of like maybe going around cleaning up for our neighborhoods, or thinking about using more natural resources, or doing more composting. However that might be looking there. Sag. But then also with this last thing with this eclipse, this is going to be happening on the 28th of October. And this is a great energy for kind of reckoning any old debts, getting finances in order, and getting in order as far as like the people and the things that we invest in as well. So great energy for you again to just kind of find ways that you can achieve balance, achieve moderation, and kind of get things in the flowing the way that you want to there with all these changes that are afoot. Because again, Scorpio brings about, there's going to be a lot of, we're gonna be in for it for sure. I feel like things are going, especially when Pluto makes his move next year. It's gonna be something else going forward. But let's get your oracle card on this. There we go. Oh, a lot of this has been going around here. I feel like a lot of people are about getting ready to go on an adventure, and which actually makes sense for your sign, because you have the safe travel card here, Sagittarius. And if you are going on a travel, I want to say you, Scorpio, Gemini, Pisces, everyone's just traveling. So if you are planning on taking a trip here soon, Sagittarius, safe travels. But I do feel like with this safe travel card, the bird on here, this is the Arctic tern. And if I'm remembering this correctly, I want to say the Arctic tern has the longest migratory pattern of any avian. That's avian bird, any avian species. And there we go. And so I feel like it really gets a chance to, and I feel like it's about like really kind of seeing this journey and seeing the world, and like how you've traveled in this journey so far from a higher perspective. Because your sign is one of expansion and of growth, and also your sign is you're considered the adventurers of the Zodiac. So I do feel there is a need to kind of get out there and kind of grow. Maybe we are changing maybe even for some, literally changing our environment, maybe moving to a new home, maybe to a new city. Your energy is a little bit bigger than because you and your opposite sign, Gemini deals with more kind of short-term travels, whereas you are very expansive travel. So maybe you're even moving to a whole new country, but something here I feel like as far as needing to kind of broaden your horizons in a sense, and just finding something a little bit bigger than yourself, because you know that's what Jupiter is all about with your sign, you know, about really seeing. And you know what, even with this safe travel here, it's like even kind of seeing the big picture and kind of understanding where these changes are trying to get you, so that you can appreciate all of the abundance and experience that this journey in this world has to offer you there, Sagittarius. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. And you know, this is not like a physical travel there, Sagittarius. This could even be more so of like an internal travel, you know, kind of getting to know, go explore kind of the uncharted territories that are you know, really kind of get a deeper and more kind of profound idea of, yeah, of who you are. Very kind of like a mix of like almost like a hermit and a chariot energy kind of coming through there. But let me get the rest of your cards here. Interesting. Ha! Love it! I love when Spirit does that. Hold on there. So, because there's that chariot. Alright, so you have the Five of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and then there's that chariot. And you know, start with the Seven of Cups here, because I feel that Sagittarius, there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of options, or at least a lot of opportunities for you. I feel like that can happen with this season, you know. And this could be, again, maybe these are like maybe different ideas that may kind of like, you might be feeling a little more inspired with this Seven of Cups kind of coming through here. Or maybe we get to, maybe it's like we're meeting up with different people and we're like exchanging ideas. Maybe like you happen to travel to like maybe you're at like a cafe, or maybe meeting with some friends, or whatever this is. But there's something here, I feel like, again, like there's these, it's this inspiring type of energy here, that this with this Seven of Cups here. And if this is something where, if we've been feeling, oh, if we've been feeling this state of lack here as of late, if we find ourselves in this state of doubt, like feeling like there's not, because maybe for some you may not have been feeling this, you know, that maybe you've been feeling kind of like maybe by yourself, or like kind of, especially you being in a more sort of like reflective energy right now. You know, maybe we've been feeling kind of like a little by ourselves, or that the abundance hasn't been flowing in, or that just maybe luck maybe even hasn't been on your side, because you are a very lucky sign. But it's just like maybe this is like, that's something interesting too, that if you've been feeling this energy of not having a lot of luck, it's not that Jupiter is taking it away from you, but maybe it's like kind of seeing, maybe we've sort of leaned a little too much into that, and we're just sort of like expecting that the universe to just give us stuff, instead of really having to, not chariot, more so of having to put in that work, in a sense, with the Knight of Swords here. There's like a need to go out and seize these opportunities and go find them, and go on this adventure, or this quest, in a sense. Because you know, this journey isn't just all, you know, things aren't just always just kind of handed to us. And that's not that I expect you, that I'm feeling that, Sagittarius, but it's just like, if things have been kind of flowing very easy, you know, we have to have, it's not always just that there are these, even when we're working towards our passions, there's these challenges that push us, that get us to this energy of success and these wins and things. But I feel that when you start going on whatever this journey is, and this feels like it's like a combination of, as you're going, maybe physically traveling, you'll start thinking more internally as well. It's like, again, it's like the perspectives of others, and I feel like you'll start to feel more abundant and more fortunate than maybe your circumstances may have got you put you in. And if we are in this place right now where, because maybe we are kind of in like a, I don't want to say impoverished, but it's like I'm getting almost like a ten of swords, like a rock bottom, or just kind of like we feel like we're sort of out in the cold, or there's no sort of support, no kind of resources coming in, no sort of like, no, not been feeling like in our manifestation. It's just like what it's not, these energies aren't meant to keep you like that. It's just asking you like what is meant to change. And then there's this energy of being, I feel there's a patience that's coming through here. But I was just reading something that I saw a little quote in one of the in this little book that I was reading, and it was just like patience isn't just the act of just like the waiting and having to endure and just have to just kind of eat it for a while. It's what we're doing while we're in that sense of patience, or while we're in that waiting, what we do with our time while we're waiting. And there are plenty of, I feel like plenty of other ways, things that we could be doing. If there's nothing else you can do about a certain situation, it's just like, okay, what else, how else can we keep this chariot moving in a sense? So all right, something to think about there, Sagittarius. I hope that made sense. Let's put this under here. I'll put you over here. And let's talk about your energy, Sag. Because Mercury's going to be busy. Mercury's going to be entering your sign on the 10th of November, and then we'll be there through the 1st of December. And with this energy, Sagittarius, our thinking, it will may become more optimistic, more open-minded, and more expansive. So just look at that. You just feel just you in your natural state. And with this, you may also notice too that you may express yourself more boldly and more honestly. And it's a little where because I feel you are a very honest sign there, Sagittarius. But it is one where sometimes when we're delivering that honesty, we want to be mindful, of just our audience. It's not that we're lying to them, but it's just like, talking about it in a more, can maybe come at it in a more kind of diplomatic approach, that maybe like, because it's not, I feel like it's like necessarily heat, it's just the bluntness that may kind of come across a little harsh. So something to be mindful of there, Sag. But like we were talking with all this travel, because I mean clearly we got maybe a little bit of wanderlust. You may find yourself drawn to travel, and this could even be, if this is not like you going on like a flying somewhere, or maybe driving, or even catching a train. Maybe it's gonna be simple stuff like maybe riding a bike somewhere, maybe even just going for a walk. Whatever that's looking like. Even around like your neighborhood or whatever that's looking like. But I feel like that's true, especially maybe you've been feeling in that sort of like, because the Five of Pentacles can be like that lack mentality. And if we can be feeling like that and haven't quite been feeling in our Empress energy, it's just like, how do we, sometimes getting out of the environment that you're in can kind of help shake up our mindsets first, shake up our mindsets, and then get to that sense of, kind of like divine inspiration and kind of feeling inspired again. Allows you to fill your cups up with the Ace of Cups being here. And then this is also a great energy too for studying, because Mercury being the planet of like intellect, and being in your sign, that's one of expansion, growth, and things. Great energy for you to grow in whatever aspect that you want to there, Sag. And then the depending on where your Sag placements are at, this is going to be forming a conjunction with your sign. And conjunctions are interesting energy, because it's just like the fusion of whatever planet is coming through, like wherever placement that it's natal placement that it's hitting. It's just that fusion of that energy. Now it's taking on more of that kind of mercurial type of energy, and it's just like it can feel a little uncomfortable at first because it's still you, but you notice there is something that is changing. It's like the way you're maybe thinking might be a little bit different, and how you're operating is just a little bit different. And sometimes that could even bring about anxieties and things. But conjunction, it's one of those things, kind of take a deep breath, kind of observe these changes here, and see where the universe and the planets are trying to lead you there, Sagittarius. So just something to something to think about there. And the nice thing too, because considering it's Mercury, Mercury's more of a neutral energy, so should be a pretty smooth for the most part conjunction there, Sagittarius, depending on what planet is forming a conjunction with. But let's go ahead and get an oracle on this and see what's going on. Oh, we got one. Boy, we're about to have like a whole bunch here in a minute. Hold on. All right, let's see what's going on here, Sag. Oh, and I like that, Sagittarius. So you got the Blessed Day card here. And I like this because I feel like that, and I feel like that's a really great way for you to really be in your energy and to keep that, because you are a great sign of optimism. You know, I feel like you and Leo really bring, like, I feel like Leo brings in, and they're about the same. You know, they're almost synonymous. That optimism and that enthusiasm. I feel that if you one maybe thing to kind of help with this kind of growth, especially again because the Five of Pentacles is kind of sticking out to me a little bit, and that's even two. I got two things with that. So, if we've been feeling, if you found yourself feeling in this state of lack here as of late, I feel like this season can be one where we get in this practice of, practicing gratitude. It's not that you're not grateful for what you have, but when you're actively doing that, when you first wake up, starting your day, whether it be day or night, however, because I get some of us are might be night owls. My schedule's actually about to shift up here soon, and I'm gonna might be on the night shift there for a little bit, but it's getting in this energy of like starting your day off maybe by thanking the universe for all the abundance that you do have, all the what we're grateful for, and for the abundance that's going to be coming throughout the day. Just starting off that on just like a more positive set, and that really helps set the tone. And even before you're going to sleep there, Sagittarius, just thinking about all the being grateful for all the things, that abundance that was brought into your world, that you were kept safe during your travels throughout the day, and then for as you're kind of just being lulled into sleep, just being in that state of gratitude, I feel like just keeps that abundance coming. And it doesn't necessarily take away from the harder times there, Sagittarius, but it's just like that, how that Arctic turn, even though it's flying above this sort of like this storm right now, we can see that there's lessons that are coming through, that there's growth coming through this, and that it's all see it from a higher perspective, in a sense, so we're not just getting lost at sea. But I was also kind of feeling, Sagittarius, when we're talking about like kind of like with the this full moon lunar eclipse, I feel like being mindful about the people that you surround yourselves with, because the Five of Swords can be like a card of perspectives, and maybe it's the people around you as well that might be kind of talking in this sort of like lower vibration, this poverty mindset that is sapping away from your abundance unknowingly. It's like we gotta get stuck in this rut. Maybe you got Sally that's saying the same old stuff, how life is this and life is that, and just keeping you from changing, metamorphosing, whatever, and turning into this moth here. And I feel like, who else did I tell this to? I want to say I told Aries this too, but I feel that helps keep that fire alive as well, and it helps. And getting into this place too, because I remember reading somewhere too where it's like, when it comes to the ratio of like negative to positive thoughts, on the lowest end can be on like from like a 3 to 1, but on the higher end it could be like a 30 to 1, and that's a lot. And I feel like that's where maybe this temperance was kind of coming in too, where it's like balancing that out when you find yourself in a negative mindset, having a negative thought, counteracting it with a positive thought. Yes, everything may not be where it's going to be, but I know that I'm going to figure this out. That this is going to get me to my highest vibration. I mean, you may not be sure how, but even just making it that practice can help keep this chariot moving there, Sagittarius. So, just a little something to think about. That's dope. Now, since Venus in here, let's talk about or since the Empress is here, let's talk about Venus. Because Venus is going to be entering Libra on the 8th of November and will be there through the 4th of December. And with this energy, Sagittarius, is a great, you may notice an increased emphasis on harmony, cooperation, and diplomacy in relationships. So you're really kind of about strengthening those bonds, because Venus is at home in Libra, along with, she rules both Taurus and Libra. And yeah, this is a great energy for bringing your relationships into balance, and to making sure that there is that reciprocity that is working there, that we are working as a team and everything is harmonious. But another really cool thing about this energy is that you might notice a heightened interest in art, fashion, design, just because Venus is deals with all things beautiful, and not just it's not just about being beautiful, it's about putting that beauty out there. And Empress doesn't just sit around looking pretty and just waiting for abundance to fall in her lap. She spreads the abundance around. She wants everyone to enjoy the same level of abundance and beauty that she's been able to create. And Libra is all about that beauty aesthetics, but this is a great energy for you to tap into that kind of creative side there of you, Sagittarius. So I do feel like your sign is almost like it almost reminds me of like a muse in a way. I feel like your energy is very inspired, and so I feel like you can be in music and dance, in woodwork and ceramics, maybe even in plants, whatever this is. There's all kind of floral stuff going on in these cards. So, follow your heart's desire there, Sagittarius. I got Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. Fantastic energy here. And the lovely thing about this energy too is that depending on where your placements are at, your Sag placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your sign. And sextiles are very fortunate energies. After the trines, they bring about good luck. They're very, 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 very smooth type of energy, but they're kind of like the aces. They're like potential. Now, if we don't do anything with them, then they just kind of sit there. It's like having $1 million lottery ticket and not cashing it in. So it's one of those, if you put in that initiative and pay attention to the signs, again, maybe there's opportunities for travel for you. Maybe there's a chance to meet some new friends, however this is looking. But, a lot of cool stuff I feel like can happen with sextile energy. But let's get an oracle on this, get some details. Oh, and look at that, Sagittarius. And I like this too, because you got the wisdom card here. And the wisdom card, this is interesting because it's like you're seeing this octopus that's like, it's literally upside down. It's like you're seeing it from a different perspective. It gives me very kind of Hanged Man vibes here. And I feel that there is this, because it's interesting, because it's just like how your cards are progressing. It's just like, you're going through these changes. You're kind of reflecting on how the growth is shaping you, both the positive and the negatives, and like how the challenges and things have kind of shaped you, how you've kept that positive mindset. And then now this wisdom has come here, and now this could even be a place where it's like we're kind of, maybe for some, and probably hopefully for all of you, you're kind of passing this wisdom on to others when you notice that maybe others are having troubles kind of seeing things from a different perspective. And I feel that it can even get you to, it's like when you get into that practice, even of passing it to others, then there's this ripple effect that's creating here. And it's just like that, in a sense, it's almost like your tentacles here are just kind of spreading throughout the world, in a sense, and kind of spreading that divine wisdom around and things. Because you're a very wise sign as well there, Sagittarius, being Jupiter ruled. So, but the thing too with wisdom, it's not just the accruing of knowledge and things. It is putting this stuff into practice. Otherwise, you're just someone who knows a bunch. You know, and that's kind of where, when you think about like you and Gemini being opposite signs, Gemini is that they have that curious, voracious appetite for knowledge. You know, they're able to pick up things and learn things really fast, and, you know, whether it be through learning, through communicating, however that's looking. And then what they learn from you is that application, seeing how that all of those pieces play a part in the bigger picture. But I do feel like, and that's even interesting for some, now that I'm saying that. It's like I feel like to even make use of this wisdoms that you do, that natural wisdom that you do have, Sagittarius, that there is a need maybe to be a little more curious, to kind of like Seven of Cups here, kind of broaden your horizon, sort of learn some new things, go see some new experiences, really go live life to the fullest. I like that, Sagittarius. Oh, let's get some tarot. Look at that, and get your Ten of Pentacles on. I'm with it. Hold on, let's see what's going on. Let's see what else is coming through here. Nice. Oh, and racking up aces. Look at you. Because you have the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and then the Fool here. Very starting. Because with this Fool, Sagittarius, and you know, I feel like with this Sagittarius, you know, where it is one thing to be wise and, you know, to have all this knowledge and things, I feel like with the Fool is remembering that there's always room for more growth. You know, that you never really stop learning, in a sense. You know, even the teacher, you know, can still learn a lot from their students. And I feel there is this, because, you know, the Fool is Uranus energy, and Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, you know, that higher mind. And, you know, yours is a very, again, a very intuitive sign as well. But I feel that it just gives me this energy of, with the Ten of Pentacles here, it's like this energy of like sort of asking you like where, like kind of like what you're building with these experiences that you've had to. And I might need to get a little bit more with this Nine of Wands here, but it's like you know, you have, I mean, again, you're racking up aces. You know, now you got your divine materials here. And it's just like, you know, these tools that you've learned, and these, you know, these people that you've met, and things. It's just like, yeah, how are we growing for that? What is that new, you know, because the Fool represents the start of a brand new cycle. You know, it's the very beginning of the major arcana. And yeah, let me get a little bit more with the Nine of Wands before I get into that one. Because that's interesting. That one's the Moon in Sagittarius. And sidebar, when I'm recording this, the Moon actually just entered Sagittarius not too long ago. So look at that there. Oh, interesting, Sagittarius. So you have the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Ten of Swords, and then you have the Sun card here. And the Nine of Wands is giving me almost this energy of hardships, in a sense. It's almost like how what I tell Scorpio sometimes. You know, when it comes to, it's like, how do you take the times when you felt kind of burnt out, and that you were having troubles, powering through and, kind of moving on, and where you felt at rock bottom and felt like, felt like just like that the maybe however this might be feeling like maybe the world was against you, maybe we had so just any sort of like hardships and things. And it's just like, how do we, I feel like it's like, how you started off with the change. It's just like shining a light on how that changed you, and then letting that light become a beacon for others, kind of spreading this energy of this light of, really kind of becoming this teacher in a way. And it's like, what things are we creating from that as well? Because normally like the Nine of Wands can be a card of burnout, but I feel like this is more so kind of like past burnout. And but I do also feel with the Nine of Wands that there is going to be, when you're going to manifest, however this is looking, for some of you, however, hopefully for all of you, you're taking these experiences and, bringing some more sunlight in the world, making little pockets of sunshine. But, yeah, I do feel like this is going to be one where it's just like a lot of things are going to, a lot of pieces are going to start coming together there. And even I feel like, if we maybe even kind of question ourselves, because I was talking about how the Arctic turn goes on that really long journey. It's just like it's all gonna make sense, like kind of like that hindsight is 2020. There's gonna be sort of like this epiphany energy again, very hanged man energy of just like a, oh, this is why this was meant to happen, and if anything, let that be an energy of persevering in a way, because I feel like, there may be moments even along this when we're starting this new chapter that we might feel like we're ready to give up and that that we're just had enough. But remember to like how the sunflower is always pointing towards the sun, remembering that we're working towards that sun, that 10 of Pentacles, and we may never quite build that legacy up the way that we want to there, Sagittarius, but bet we're going to get real close to it. So I dig it. Now let's get on to Pisces, because you got Saturn that's about to go direct in Pisces, and then you have Neptune that's been chilling in their sign, that's still retrograde. Now with let's start with Neptune, because Neptune, she's been in Pisces for a while now. She hangs out in signs for about I want to say about 14 years at a time. And Neptune's going to be retrograde until the 6th of December. And with this energy, Sagittarius, this is a great energy for really really powerful energy for just introspection and spiritual awakening, and really kind of getting in touch with Source. And I feel like that is because I do feel like, again, Sagittarius, you being Jupiter ruled, Jupiter is a very spiritual sign, or a very spiritual planet. And you're very, being associated with the ninth house that deals with like spirituality and like it used to be considered, I want to say back in like ancient astrology, it was considered the house of God, and so there's a lot of powerful spiritual energy that's coming from with that. And again, a lot of wisdom that I feel like can come, that you can really kind of learn about yourself and really kind of change your life in a very 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 positive type of way here, Sagittarius. But then you have Saturn Saturn's going to be going direct on the 4th of December, or excuse me, 4th of November, and then he's going to be chilling in Pisces for the next 3 years. He'll be there till 2025. But with this energy, this is a focus on deepening spiritual understanding and really seeking a higher purpose. And kind of like that turn, seeing things from a higher view and understanding the whole purpose of all these changes. I think because change is the one constant that happens in this realm for sure. But you may also notice there, Sagittarius, that you may have troubles setting emotional boundaries just because Pisces being Neptune ruled along with Jupiter, but more so on the Neptune end. Neptune doesn't have any boundaries, you know, and that can be kind of hard establishing those sometimes. So just something to watch out there for. But you may also, too, feel a sense of duty towards like your family, your loved ones, friends, or even the community. And like I was saying, like this spreading this wisdom, it's like you're kind of getting almost like a potentially can get into like this hierophant energy where you're spreading the knowledge of your experiences and helping others to, you know, find that lust for life, you know, that carpe diem, that this, you know, seizing the day, and and realizing that every day, because look at that, you got the sun here with this blessed day, and reminding that every day is a blessed day, Sagittarius. Now, the trickiness. In this one, you'll need your time of birth for Neptune, because she's way further along into Pisces than Saturn. And Saturn is basically at the, I want to say right now he's back at the 0 degree of Pisces. So, but depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a square with your sign. Now, with Neptune, it can be more of a, Neptune's kind of a trickier one because she gives off kind of this neutral energy, but Saturn is considered a malefic planet along with Mars, Uranus, and Pluto. And so this square might be a difficult one there, Sagittarius, just because, you know, squares already bring this energy of tension and challenges and delays, and you know it could just be just kind of annoying energy, but it's one that can and create like this internal conflict, but it's energy that can be very fortuitous over time. You know, it's just that we got to kind of ride the wave out a little bit and just kind of persevere, 9 of wands, and keep that optimism, keep that hope, and get that understanding, seeing things from a higher perspective. But you know, Saturn does ask a lot of us. You know, he's the planet of discipline and wisdom and structure. He rules Capricorn and Aquarius. But when you work with Saturn, Saturn is the type that he can reward just as handsomely as Jupiter, but he has a lot more requirements than Jupiter. So just something to think about there, Sag. But let's get into your let's get your oracle card on this. Oh, I dig that. All right. So you have the balanced emotions here. And you know, I like that, Sagittarius, that there's this jellyfish that's kind of going through here, because I feel that it's tapping into that mutable energy and just sort of going with the flow of life. Even through these challenges, it's just like kind of like, okay, you know, especially when you're noticing that resistance and things, it's just like, okay, let's let a pause and just kind of surrender to the energies. Now that we're giving up, it's just that we're sort of like we're slowing down a little bit, you know, and that's what retrogrades are about too. You know, just the energies slow down some, but it's just like how do we keep very King of Cups type of energy coming through with this card. It's just like how do we keep that sense of balance and not to allow like the frustrations and the anger and the whatever that else is overwhelm us, but let them be energies of fuel as opposed to letting them kind of push us around and make us into this reactive state. It's like it's the best like being proactive versus being reactive with this balanced emotions card, because I feel like you have a lot of stuff that's coming through here, but it does all feel like that the universe is just trying to, during this season, just really trying to teach you. And what a great teacher to have as you know, the universe, to get you to this place and get you primed and ready for your birthday season. Because I mean, you started out this whole reading, your energy came through there in a very, you know, it was just like, hey, temperance, balance. Look at you, waterbender. I know you're a fire sign, but this guy's bending water here. But yeah, and it's just like, how do we keep that King of Cups energy, that emotional wisdom as well? You know, there's Sagittarius, but let's let's get some tarot on this. Oh. Oh. Thank you. All right, Sag. That's interesting. All right, so you have the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Star card here, and then the Strength card. I like that. The ruler came. We got Uranus here with the Star card. Oh, and Leo out here with the Sun. Because the Star card is Aquarius, and then the Leo's the Strength card. And that's interesting too, there, Sagittarius, because that's opposition energy right there. You know, they're opposite signs of the zodiac. But I do feel that there is, when we're making these choices through life, as we're going through changes here, I do feel that I almost feel like with this Two of Swords, Three of Swords energy, it's like getting down to the source of like, kind of asking ourselves why we make the decisions that we do. Are we making this from a balanced place, or are we operating from a hurt place? Is there some sort of like, maybe some sort of trauma, or maybe some sort of triggers that's having us make these decisions, or maybe even keeping us into this place of stagnation with the Two of Swords? And just like kind of, because this is the moon in Libra, and we were talking about that with Libra energy can lead to this, I don't know if I actually said that, but it could lead to this indecisiveness as well, when I think about the moon in Libra, or just Libra energy in general. But I do feel that there is this, when we're going through this stuff and kind of balancing out these emotions, the Star card is a very, very healing card, because it's a card that happens right after the Tower. And maybe we're healing from this lack mindset, or maybe there was some sort of things that hurt us in the past with the Three of Swords, or even the Ten of Swords. That's an intense card too. But it's just like, how do we find the strength in that? How do we turn those energies of hurt into strength more so, and keep ourselves, keep the energies harmonized in a way? Yeah, I like this, Sagittarius. And I do feel like that there is this and I feel like it's like the more that once you really learn to keep these energies in balance here, that's really going to help with your manifestation, because the Star card is a great energy for like connecting with source, getting those divine downloads, and then pouring that water and allowing that energy to manifest. And yeah, I dig that, Sag. Yeah, a lot of growth, and a lot of some decisions that are definitely going to need to be made. But I do feel like it's going to be towards your great energy of growth that's coming through here. But let's go ahead and get to the last energy here. A little more tea, which is Pluto and Capricorn. Because Pluto is going to be in Capricorn until pretty much Aquarius season, which I feel like that's a very auspicious time in there. He'll be in Capricorn until the 20th of January 2024. And with this, Sagittarius, now when the outer planets move, yes, we do feel it on a personal level, but this does affect us on a global scale as well. Because even when you think about astrology placements, from Jupiter, Saturn, Mars a little bit, but Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, when those planets move, they really do affect us on a generational type, or on a global type of way. And this can lead to shifts in power dynamics. Both Capricorn and Pluto are this is a strong placement for Pluto, because both Capricorn and Pluto are very power driven, very much about success and thriving and things. But we're going from the sort of structured, materialistic, corporate type of Capricorn energy, getting into a more freer, about the people, innovative, humanitarian type energy of Aquarius. And things are going to change in a very radical, might be a bit extreme, but we'll see. You know, it just depends on where we're at. You know, I do feel like there's some things that are going to, but it's going to be a lot of tower moments kind of happening in a sense. You know, there's going to be a breakdown of outdated systems. If it's not promoting growth and future and things, then it's going to fall apart. You know, and it's because we're ushering in a new age. And you may notice too that there's a heightened sense of responsibility towards societal and global issues. So again, you might be kind of sharing some wisdom there, Sagittarius. You know, it's like it's being flexible with this change. You know, remembering that how every day is blessed, keeping that strength, keeping that tenacity, that willpower, and we'll be able to grow from that for sure. It's just gonna be it'll be a wild ride that Pluto brings. But let's get your last oracle card here. All right, Sagittarius. I like that. A little more direction changes here, or just kind of well, you got the navigation card. I thought I had something clever to say about that, but you got the navigation card here, and I feel like that this energies are, you know, it's got you thinking about, you know, taking this wisdom that you've learned from this journey thus far, and how you're going to use it moving forward. You know, and what that's going to look like. You know, how do you navigate this you know, the uncertainty that is the future, because things are changing all the time, and we're getting to a different age. And again, how do we keep our emotions balanced in this? And you know, how do we keep connected to source and let that be our, and it's like, you know, like the star card here is like following your north star and keeping that you know, look at that. We're following the star. We're following the sun. You got I feel like a lot of guidance that's coming through here, but it's just like, where's this chariot moving to next? You know, what is that, and what steps does that look like? You know, Sagittarius. But let's get your tarot cards here. And I feel like with that navigation card too is remembering that you are divinely guided. You know, with all these things that happen to you, they're not just happening again just to keep you down. There's wisdom and growth that are coming from that. You know, it's yeah. Let me get the rest of that. Oh, and there's Mercury. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, and Libra. Oh, and the High Priestess. And okay, see, I told you, divinely guided. You get nothing but majors here. And look at that, my candle went out right as I said that. There's Sagittarius, so look at that. Hold on, let me get that lit. And then your last little bit here, Sag. You have the Justice card, the High Priestess, the Magician, and then the Hermit here. Maybe we were talking about the Hermit, but let's switch back over. Because Sagittarius, this is going to be an energy of, you know, you're really going to need to trust your intuition. You know, as far as like where this journey is trying to guide you, because that's interesting. I think Pisces had the same thing happen where they got the High Priestess and the Chariot. The High Priestess is the Moon, the Chariot is Cancer. Oh, and look at that, the Empress and Libra. You got a lot of, and look at this even, and I did. You got a, and listen, because you really are divinely guided in a really special way. Because you got Mercury in Virgo here, Venus in Libra, Aquarius and Uranus, the Sun in Leo. You know, it's paying attention to, I feel like, how you're manifesting up until this point. You know, and paying attention to, like, 'cause the Justice card is a card of cause and effect. And seeing how what you've manifested up until now, how has that guided you thus far? And reflect on that, Sagittarius. Is this getting you to where you want to be on this journey? And if not, what can we do to change? You know, how do we adapt with this? You know, because it's like if you're noticing that we're having hard times or that you're feeling stuck in a cycle, then there's a reason for that. You know, and it's digging a little bit deeper, but it is remembering too, with the Magician, that you have all the tools that you need to get through this journey. You know, especially when we're talking about that Five of Pentacles. You know, it's just a matter of where your head's at. You know, because your thoughts become things, and because I do, and I feel with this Hermit, there's something about, you know, considering that you got a lot of stuff of travel here, you know, kind of if you've been feeling like you just sort of been wandering aimlessly through life, let's take a moment and ground ourselves for a minute. Pause, maybe go to, like, maybe find yourself again, maybe sit in the, go on a trip to the woods, or just out and go for a hike, or maybe sit under a tree, or meditate under the moon, or whatever that may be looking like there, Sagittarius. But there's a deeper meaning to all of these things that I feel like is happening here, and that's like, especially with that Justice card, that's coming through in a really cool type of way there. That's and I like that. This person's got the world in their hands there. It's just like, how do we bring maybe even as big as balance to the world there, Sagittarius? You know, maybe look at you, spiritual teacher, or even just something about balance to your world, whatever that's looking like. Justice, temperance, getting an equilibrium. So I think I'm going to leave that there. But I like that, Sagittarius. I feel like a very, very, I was going to say educational. That's not quite the right word, but I feel like there's going to be a lot to learn in this season here. But if you like that, Sagittarius, give it a thumbs up and share this, because I do feel that there is this. This almost gives me like this, like you're going on a, what is that called, a pilgrimage, possibly, or something like that. Going on something like a yeah, just some sort of like a, like almost like a returning to Mecca in a sense, but like, what is your Mecca? Like really something really cool. I feel like is going on with this Sagittarius, so I feel like it would be open to going on an adventure. But and then if you haven't already, there, temperance, subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. The Magician, and then lastly. I literally like almost having deja vu. I just told Pisces this. Since you got two of the hottest tickets to come over to my other channel, the Chariot and the High Priestess. But if you have any Cancer in your placements, you don't need them. But if you have any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We absolutely discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Sag. And that's interesting. So you got the Nine of Swords here. And I feel like with the Nine of Swords being here, that there is this, maybe for some there's this anxiety that's coming through here with this, all this change, or there's this fear, or there's this, it's just this uncertainty that's coming through here. And I get that, Sagittarius. You know, it's hard to know what the future holds, but you know, it's like, how do we turn that anxiety into excitement? You know, because we don't know where it's going to go, it gives us more room to manifest whatever it is where you manifest that destination. You know, it's like you're with and that's actually might be what I call this video. It's like the universe is giving you a GPS, and now just wants you to enter the coordinates and then be along for the ride. Be ready for, expect some delays. Expect maybe traffic jams. But there'll be times where it's like it's smooth sailing, and other times it may not be. But it's about keeping keeping the destination in mind. I love that. I think I'm definitely going to call your video that. That's so funny. And now let me get your oracle card here. so I can get you out of here, Sag. Because you got the building blocks card here. And I like that because you are, I mean, what do you, again, it's just like, what do you want to build? You know, you're the magician in this story. You're the author. So, I mean, you have, I mean, you got your cups, your ace of cups, your ace of wands, your ace of pentacles. And now it's just like taking, and now it just needs, all you're missing is your swords. You know, just like as far as like taking those thoughts and starting to manifest them. Because you got the fire, you got the feelings, you got the materials. And so start building. You know, and what do you want to look at? You went from a driver to like an architect, but it's fine. You can do whatever you want. Isn't that amazing? And that's and I feel like it's remembering that, and then and just like how we kept that optimism, you know, just what a blessed day this was. What a blessed reading this was. I like that, Sag. I'm leaving it there. So you stay safe. You stay safe out there. I feel like I've said this like a lot. You stay safe out there. I feel like the soul tribe is traveling. But yeah, wherever you're taking life, you know, whether this is physically, you know, spiritually, stay safe out there. You raise the vibration through the roof. Because, I mean, this is dope. This really is great energy that you brought me here, Sagittarius. And I feel like this is a really great building blocks for success in whatever endeavors that you want to tackle in this season and in life. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.